Dear students, today we'll discuss how to use integrated equations in solving problems. In the earlier class, we have discussed integrated equation for zeroth order reaction as well as first order reaction and their characteristics. Now, how to use integrated rate equation for solving numerical problems. Let's start with the problem. Question says we have a zero order reaction in which A is converted into B and time required for completion of this zero order reaction is 20 minutes. Then question says what is the time required for 60% completion of the reaction. So we have given two conditions here. Time required for completion is 20 minutes. So this 20 minutes means we have 20 into 60 seconds. Then what is the time required for 60% completion of the reaction? So the reaction is 60% completed. So amount of A left after time is 40%. So look at this, we have this. Amount of A left is 40% of the initial value. And therefore, amount reacted, that is A naught minus AT, is equals to 60% of the value. And we also have this T completion for a zero order reaction is equals to A naught by K. So therefore, from this equation we have K is equals to A naught divided by T completion, that is A naught by 20 minutes, or we can also convert this 20 minutes into 20 seconds. So from integrated rate equation, for zero order reaction we have A naught minus AT is equals to K into T. Therefore, T is equals to A naught minus AT divided by K. So A naught minus AT is 60% of the initial value and K is A naught by 20. So A naught will cancel out. So this comes out to be 60 into 20 divided by 100. So this comes out to be 12 minutes. So if this zero order reaction is completed in 20 minutes, then for 60% completion, what required is 12 minutes. So first thing is we have to use this equation. Time required for completion of the zero order reaction, which is equal to N by Tt, and what is the meaning of this? 60% completion means amount of At left is 40% of this. E naught minus At is 60% of the initial value. So this is 12 minutes, or you can convert into seconds. So this is equals to 12 into 60 seconds. So this is how we proceed to solve a given equation as a given question by use of this integrated equation. So this is one of the questions. Let's go for another question. Again we have a zero order reaction, or we can say we have given a reaction here. For this reaction, the rate constant T is equals to 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 molar per second. Then what is the time required for changing concentration, initial concentration 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 molar to final concentration 2 into 10 to the power minus molar concentration. Now, question doesn't say okay, what is the order of reaction. Simply say okay, we have a reaction A changing into product B. Rate constant P is given as 5 into 10 power minus 8 molar per second. Initial concentration is given as 4 into 10 power minus 2. Concentration after certain time T is given as 2 into 10 power minus 2 molar. Then what is the time required for this change? Now, for such type of solution or equation, a question in which there is nothing mentioned about the order of reaction, so we have to see the unit of K. Unit of K is concentration per second. So this says that this is a zero order reaction. So we are given a zero order reaction. How we are coming to the consideration K, this is a zero order reaction because we are having this unit of K. So unit of K clearly says this is a zero order reaction. So we have a zero order reaction, then we have this integrated equation. Integrated equation we have this A naught minus AT is equals to K T. So therefore time required T is equals to A naught minus AT divided by K. So A naught is 4, AT is 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by K. K is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8. So we have this 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 8, then plus 8 divided by 5. So we have this 2 by 5 into 10 to the power plus 6. This is second. So this is how we define T, or you can also simplify this 4 into 10 to the power 5 seconds. So in 4 into 10 to the power 5 seconds, what is the reaction? A tends to T, concentration changes from 4 into 10 power 5 to minus molar to 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 molar. This is the time required. So this is one of the question. Let's see another question. So let's see another question. We have a zero order reaction. A is turning into B. Question says what was the initial concentration if concentration AT comes out to be 0.1 molar after time, suppose this is 10 seconds. So in 10 seconds, the initial the concentration of the reaction after time t comes out to be 0.1 molar, and if the rate constant K for this reaction happens to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 molar per second. So question clearly says this is a zero order reaction. Rate constant for the zero order reaction is 2 into 10 power minus 2 molar second inverse. Concentration after certain time t is 0.1 molar, time is 10 seconds. Then what was the initial concentration of the reagent? Again, look at this. We have integrated that equation. For the zero order reaction is A naught minus AT is equals to T. So therefore, initial concentration A naught is equals to concentration after certain time t plus K into T. So we have this value of AT, we have get constant K, we have time T. Substituting these values, we get 0.1 plus is 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10. So this comes out to be 0.1 plus 2 into 10 to the power minus 1. So this is 0.3 molar. So for this reaction with these characteristic problems, so question says we have a first order reaction A reacts to give you product B and C, that is A decomposed to give you B and C by first order kinetics. Then what is the degree of dissociation of this reactant A alpha? We define this alpha as amount of the reactant reacted divided by initial amounts. Now we have to find this ratio from first order kinetics step equation. So we have this integrated equation for first order reaction, which is ln A naught by AP is equals to KT, or simply we can say ln AP by A naught is equals to minus of KT, or AT by A naught is equals to exponential minus KT. So this is Wilhelmi's equation, which says concentration of the first order reaction decays exponentially. Now we'll subtract this equation from 1. That means both left side and right side should be subtracted from 1. So we get 1 minus AT by A naught is equal to 1 minus E raised to the power KT. So 1 minus AT by A naught, that is A naught minus AT divided by A naught. So this is equal to 1 minus exponential minus KT. So look at it, this is initial amount, this is amount after certain time T, and this is initial amount. So initial amount minus amount left, this is amount reacted. So amount reacted divided by initial amount. So this A naught minus AT represents the value of alpha. So therefore this is equals to alpha. So alpha is equals to 1 minus exponential raised to the power minus KT. This is how we define degree of dissociation of the first order reaction of this type. So alternatively we can also define in this way. Suppose we have this reaction A changing into product B plus C, let the initial amount be A, initial amount of B and C is 0. After certain time T, this from this initial amount some X is reacted. The amount of B form is X, C form is also X. So we have this integrated equation ln AT by A naught is equals to exponential minus KT, or we have this AT by A naught is equals to exponential minus KT. So AT amount, that is A minus X divided by A naught is X, so this is equals to exponential minus KT. So this is 1 minus X by A is equals to e raised to the power minus KT. So therefore X by A, that is amount reacted by initial amount, so this represents alpha, so alpha is equals to 1 minus exponential KT. So either you define in terms of this equation or this type of equation. So this represents alpha. So basically definition of alpha is amount reacted by initial amount. So this is how we define degree of dissociation of a first order reaction. So once we have the value of K and time T, we can easily define the value of alpha, that is degree of dissociation. So this is degree of dissociation for say first order kinetics. Let's go for some other problems involving first order kinetics. Suppose we have first order reaction A changing into product B. The reaction is a first order kinetics. For this first order reaction, we have to prove that time required for 99.9% completion of a first order kinetics is equals to 10 times time required for 50% completion. You have to prove. So question says 99.9% is completed. So how much is left? 0.1% is left. So therefore, for 99.9% completion, amount of 8 is left is 0.1% of the initial value, or simply we can say A naught by 8 is equals to 1000. Now using first order kinetics rate equation, we have A T is equals to 2.303 log A naught by 80. So therefore, time required for 99.9% completion is equals to 2.303 by T. A naught by 80 is 1000. So we can say this is log 10 to the power cube. So this can be written as 3 into 2.303 divided by T. Log 10 is equals to 10. So therefore, time required for 99.9% completion is equals to 3 into 2.303. T can be expressed in terms of half-life. So half K said this is 0.693 divided by half-life. So this is equals to 3 into 2.303 divided by 0.693 into half-life. So this is approximately equal to 10. So this is 10 times half-life. So therefore, time required for 99.9% completion of a first order kinetics is equals to 10 times its half-life. So this is the relation between these two. This is for first order kinetics. So simply what we are doing is we are using this condition. 99.9% completion means how much is left, that is 0.1% is left. So we have to use this value in integrated rate equation of first order kinetics. So along with this, let's see some more examples. Again, we have first order kinetics. We have this reaction A changing into product B. This is the first order kinetics. Question says this first order kinetics 10% completed in 10 minutes. Suppose let's assume this first order kinetics 10% of the reaction is completed or consumed in 10 minutes. Then question says, what is the time required for 60% completion of the reaction? Time required for 60% completion is to find, and 10% is completed in 10 minutes. So take this first, 10% completion. For 10% completion, amount of AP left is 90% of the initial value. That means A naught by AP is equals to 100 by 90. So this is A naught by AP. So from this first order kinetics equation we have AP is equals to 2.303 log A naught by 80. So therefore P is equals to 2.303 A naught by 80 is log, so this is 10 by 9. So simply you can write down log 10 by 9 divided by time. Time is 10 minutes. So this is the value of K from this 10% completion that is taking place in 10 minutes. Now the question says, what is the time required for 60% completion of this reaction? So for this 60% completion, 60% completion means amount of A left is 40% of A naught, or simply we say A naught by AT is equals to A naught by AT, that is 10 by 40. So again, using this integrated equation, we have time required is 2.303 log A naught by AT is 10 by 4 divided by T. We have to find this, then we have to find the value of K. So this is the value of K. K is 2.303 log 10 by 9 divided by 10. So this cancels out. So this is equals to 10 times log 10 by 4 divided by log 10 by 9. So we can take the help of logarithm to find the value of 10 by 4 and 10 by 9. So this is time required for 60% completion for this characteristic, in which 10% is completed in 10 minutes. We'll see some more examples for first order kinetics. I can take this equation. We have A changing into product B. This is a first order kinetics. For this first order kinetics, let's suppose half-life T half is 60 minutes. So question says half-life of this first order kinetics is 60 minutes. So how long or how much time it will take to complete 60% of the reaction? The question says half-life of this first order reaction is 60 minutes, then time required for 60% completion of the first order reaction. What is the time required? So half-life given means indirectly question says the rate constant K is given. So rate constant K is 0.693 divided by half-life. So this is 0.693 divided by 60. So this is minute inverse. So this is K for this first order kinetics. Now 60% completion. So 60% completion means amount of A left is 40% of initial value. So this is A naught by 8 100 by 40, we say 10 by 4. Now again we have to use integrated equation. So this says Kt is equals to 2.303 log A naught by 80. So therefore time required is 2.303 by K. K is equals to 0.693 divided by 60 log A naught by 80 is 10 by 4. So this is equals to 60 into 2.303 divided by 0.693 log 10 by 4. So again we can get the help of logarithm to find the value of log 10 by 4. So this is the time required for 60% completion of the first order kinetic, whose half-life is 60 minutes. Again, let's see some more examples for this first order kinetics. Question Again, we have a first order kinetics. For this first order kinetics, order of reaction is first. Half-life for this half order reaction is 3 R inverse. Suppose the half-life is given as 3 R inverse. Then fraction of A left after 8 hours. Yes. What is the fraction of A left unreacted at the end of 8 hours? So we have this half-life. Total time is given as A. So what is the amount of A? Fraction of A left. So question says half-life is given. So half-life means A is equals to 0.693 by half-life. So this is 0.693 by 3 or inverse. Then we have to find the fraction of A left. So fraction of A left we have to find. So we have to use integrated equation which says AT is equals to 2.303 log A naught by AT, or therefore look at this, log A naught by AT is equals to AT by 2.303. So K is equals to 0.693 divided by 3 into time is 8 divided by 2.303. So total time is 8 hours. This is rate constant K, which is equals to 0.693 by 3. This is 2.303. So therefore look at this. A naught by AT is equals to NT log of this value. NT log of this value, that is 0.693 into 8 divided by 3 into 2.303. So let's suppose this is some x. This is some x value. Now we have to find the fraction of A left. This is amount of A left after time t. This is the initial amount. So therefore look at this, fraction of left is AT by A naught, which is equal to fraction of A left, which is equal to 1 by 8. So this is how to use integrated equation for solving numerical problems. Now once we have this use of integrated equation, we'll see experimental determination of order of a given reaction. Experimental determination of order. Of a reaction. How to define experimentally the order of a reaction? Now for this we have a different techniques. So let's see one by one. First one is initial rate method. Initial rate method. Suppose we have a reaction A plus B plus C gives you product, and the experimental rate law for this reaction is rate is equal to some constant K, which is known as a constant, A raised to the power m, B raised to the power n, C raised to the power O, where m is the order with respect to A, n with respect to B, O with respect to C. So we have to find the value of this m, n and O. For this, we'll take different experimental methods. So one of the experimental method is Now keeping the concentration of A constant, varying, and keeping the concentration of B and C constant, will take the experiment. That means out of these three quantities, we keep the quantity of two reactant constant and we vary the concentration of the third quantity. So let's see, keeping B and C constant, we vary the concentration of A. So therefore we take first experimental setup RO1, means first experiment which is initial rate. This is equals to some K prime. So K prime is K into concentration of B and concentration of C into A1 raised to the power n. Similarly, we take another experiment by changing the concentration of A to some other value. So second experiment is R naught 2 is equals to K prime concentration of A is concentration 2 raised to the power n. So this is the initial rate in terms of concentration of reactant A, keeping concentration of B and C constant. Now we'll take the ratio of these two. So R naught 2 by R naught 1 is equals to concentration of A 2 raised to the power n divided by concentration of A raised to the power n. So this can be written as concentration of A 2 divided by concentration of A1 raised to the power n. So we can take the value of R1, R2, A2, A1, then we'll find the value of n. So this is how we define order of reaction in terms of initial rate. To define the order of D, we take A and C to be constant and we vary the concentration of D, then we'll proceed in the same way. Similarly, to find the order with respect to C, we keep the concentration A and B constant and vary the concentration of C. So we'll take this ratio and find the value of each and every reactant A, B and C. What is the reaction? Second method is half-life method. Half-life method. Now we have a general equation for half-life of nth order reaction. E half of nth order reaction. This is 2 to the power n minus 1 minus 1 divided by n minus 1 an, which is the rate constant K for nth order reaction and the concentration of the reactant A initial n minus 1, where n is the order of reaction. This is the rate constant K, this is the initial concentration of the substance. This equation is not valid for n equals to 1. For n equals to 1, this equation is not valid. That means we can say E half of nth order reaction is proportional to 1 by concentration of the initial reactant raised to the power n minus 1. So we'll take this half-life to define the order of reaction. So again we'll take two different experimental setups. So let's say T half-life 1 divided by T half-life 2. So this is equals to, so this is inverse related. So we have A naught 2 raised to the power n minus 1 divided by A naught 1 raised to the power n minus 1. So we can say this is A naught 2 divided by A naught 1 raised to the power n minus 1. So we have this ratio. We know the value of T half at two different experiments. We know the concentration of A at two different concentrations. So we can easily find the value of n, which is the order of reaction. This is half-life method. So this equation can be used only when provided half-life of the reaction is given to you. Third method to define order of reaction is graphical method. Graphical method to define the order of a reaction. So we have different integrated equations for first order as well as zero order reaction. So we have zero order reaction and first order reaction. For this zero order reaction, integrated equation is A naught minus AT is equals to KT. For this first order reaction, integrated equation is log AT is equals to log A naught minus KT. So we can see the variation of concentration A with time T, concentration of A with time T. So we'll have a different graph. So this is concentration AT, this is time T. So we have a slope, and this slope is equals to minus K, and this value is intercept A naught. So if the graph comes out to be this type, that means concentration versus time is decreasing slope, then we can say this is zero order reaction. If the variation of this concentration is log of A versus T graph, if this graph happens to be straight line with decreasing slope, this is log A naught, slope is equal to minus by 2.303. So difference is this is simply concentration versus time. This is log of concentration versus time. So we'll observe the graph, and the one which fits in the graph will be the particular order of reaction. We can also have this for this zero order reaction half-life. Half-life of zero order reaction is A naught by 2 times K, whereas half-life of first order reaction is 0.693 by K. So half-life of zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration, whereas half-life of the first order reaction is independent of the concentration. So we can take help of this graph also. E half-life versus concentration T. So this is increasing slope passing through origin, whereas for first order reaction, half-life is independent of concentration. So this is constant whether we are increasing or decreasing the concentration. So we can take this half-life. The other one is we can use rate of reaction also. For first zero order kinetics, rate is equal to rate constant K. This is independent of the concentration. For first order kinetics, rate is equal to rate constant A into concentration of A, order is 1. So we can take this. We have rate versus concentration. So this is concentration independent, so rate remains constant. For first order kinetics, we have this rate. Now rate is directly proportional to concentration raised to power 1. So this is equation of straight line passing through origin. So this is. So we can take this help of this graph to define what is the order of a reaction.